Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to this week's edition of the Jolley Good News Report. Good news for your spirit. Proverbs tells us that good news is good for your body, for your bones. It's good for your spirit. It gives you, as Maya Angelou says, starch in your spine. We need good news. I was recently speaking for a group, and it was a global company, but they're based in Denver, Colorado. And right before I closed, the director said, I got a question. What do you do when you have all of this bad news, sad news coming at you in such great volume? Look at what we've been through this week. Well, I've been praying for my friends in Texas and Louisiana, Oklahoma, who've been just overwhelmed with the situation, the weather situation. Now, I talked to one of them who he said his pipes burst, and he said it's just been unbelievable. And he said it's just terrible. Now, they're at a place of terrible after being for the last year in a place of bad. Okay, it's been tough. So you go from bad to worse to terrible, and when this is over, the terrible, you go back to bad. So we've got to get to good news. And that's why I started this Jolly Good News, to let you know, even in the midst of this pandemic, economic downturn, massive job loss, racial strife, social upheaval, all the ecological issues, that yet, there's some good news in the place. And there's some good news for you to give you spirit and give you uplift. And so I said to this lady and the whole group when they asked the question that you got to be careful about your input, because your input determines your output. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. If you want better in your life and you want great things in your life, you got to start with something powerful and positive every day. That's why I hope you are subscribing to my daily 1-minute messages, or you listen to me on the radio on the Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell radio show. Every morning we put out positive messaging. Why? Because there was a study done that said that if you read or listen to something first thing in the morning, you get 40% greater achievement than those who don't. Why is that? Well, if you woke up this morning and it was rainy and cold and dreary and wet and clammy, what does your body want to do? Your body wants to stay in bed. Ooh, but if you woke up and the sun was shining, the birds were singing, it was a beautiful day, you do not want to miss 1 minute, 1 second, 1 iota of that day. So you get up and get busy. The same is true for your psyche. If you woke up and hear how many people got killed, how many fires there were, how bad life is, how bad the economy is, how bad the pandemic's going to be, that this new variant is going to be worse than the other one. All you hear is bad news all day long, and you wake up with that, and it's going to have a cloud over your mind. But if you wake up and you listen to one of these 1-minute motivational messages, like the one that many people like, every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. It does not matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. So you got to get running, you got to get going, you got to get growing, you got to get moving, because there's good. There's good all around you. So what I want you to do is find some good. And that's why we started this Jolly Good News. What I'd like you to do right now as we're getting started is start a watch party. Right now, start a watch party. Those who aren't on, they're going to miss some good stuff already. Am I right about it? If you feel this is good and you feel that we're on our way to some good, even more good, then I'm telling you right now, we're on more good coming. Then you want to start a watch party. And if you're watching a replay, do me a favor, share this, like it. Subscribe to this so that you'll get updates, because we want to impact people globally with some powerful, positive information in a time of so much negative. You need some good news. Bible is right. The Bible is right. Proverbs. I'm telling people, read a proverb every day. I was on a call this week with Coach Tony Dungy, James Brown from CBS Sports, and a number of other great folks all over the country. And they were talking about a Bible study, and they talked about Proverbs. And I told them what I do with Proverbs. And Proverbs, every day, I read a proverb. I read it right here on my phone. I use the Message version. The Message version by Eugene Peterson is a great today's language, a revision and a version where he talks in a very motivational, up-to-date kind of way about what is the Bible, the thus and the thous, and he doesn't talk about that. He talks about this is how it is, okay, right now, today. And it's fantastic. I read one every day. Today I read the 20th. I read the 20th proverb. And I would encourage you, and I do it every month. And here's the amazing, incredible thing. Every month, I'll read the 20th again, and I'll see something I didn't see last time. Or something will jump out at me. Wow, why didn't I see it before? Because I wasn't ready to see it then. Or I'm in a different place right now in my life, in my experience, in my world, in my situations, my challenges. Oh, yeah, we all got challenges. People say, you don't have any challenges. Oh, yes, I do. I got challenges like you. You got challenges. The difference is that I choose not to let the challenges determine my attitude. Come on, somebody. Woo! I choose not to let the challenges of life, the situations, circumstances, the difficulties determine my attitude. That's my choice. I choose to be happy. I choose to be grateful. I choose to be gracious about the fact that God is so good to me. And that's why I give God glory. And I encourage people to do that. It gets me fired up. When I think about how good God's been to me, my soul shouts hallelujah. So it's good news, and there's good news for you. So whether you're a believer or not, though, it doesn't matter. That if you fill yourself up with the pure, the powerful, the positive, it's going to have an impact. Now, I would recommend you be a believer. If you don't know him, you need to know him, because that's what changed my life. I'm not going to beat you upside the head with a Bible. I'm just telling you, here's where I was. Broke, busted, disgusted. Here's where I am. Traveling all over the world, typically in normal years, but reaching people all over the world. And right now, through these videos and these messages and television and radio, and being able to do that and make a wonderful living right here from my office and from our home. We do Monday night, Happily Married Monday with the Jolley. Well, now we call it Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast right from our kitchen. That's our set. And we have lights and cameras and action. And then we do it from all over the place, because we want people to be inspired, empowered, uplifted, encouraged. So here's what we want to do. We want to talk about today how you continue to face adversity, and how adversity can become a strength if you know how. That's what I want to focus on today. Adversity and how it becomes a strength. This is taken from my book, A Setback Set Up for Comeback. I encourage you to go to winwithwillie.com and hit the box that says my products and my store or whatever, and get the book. Either get it in audio or you get it in hardcover collector's edition. And if you get a hardcover collector's edition, you get it autographed. Woohoo! That's worth something. So here we go. Let me talk about adversity. Sir Francis Bacon, I love this quote. That's why I put it in the book. He said, while prosperity best discovers vice, adversity best discovers virtue. And the virtue that comes from adversity is fortitude. The good things which belong to prosperity are to be wished for, but the good things which belong to adversity are to be admired. Therefore, he or she knows of his or her own strength, not of his or her own strength. Therefore, he or she knows not of his or her own strength that has not met adversity. Adversity will find out who you are. And you're going to have adversity. Now, what are you going to do about it? Anne Bradshaw says, if we had no winter, the spring would not be so pleasant. If we had no adversity, then prosperity would not be so welcome. Bob Johnson, he's been on my XM show, founder of Black Entertainment Television, a billionaire, the first African-American billionaire. And now he owns hotels and all sorts of other industries. Bob said something I love. Adversity can either break you or make you. The same hammer that breaks the glass is the same hammer that also sharpens the steel. It depends on you. What are you made of? And what you're made of is your input. Your input determines your output and who you will become. J. Willard Marriott, founder of Marriott Hotels. Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger the wind, the stronger the trees. And then in Proverbs, that's why I read Proverbs every day. I tell you, read one every day. I highly recommend it. If thou faint in the time of adversity, then thy strength is small. Your strength is empowered or increased because you did not faint. You pushed through. You persevered. You persisted in the face of adversity, and you did not come out the same. You became out better. And that's why we must stretch, grow ourselves and our possibilities. Let me tell you a perspective on failure. You failed many times, although you may not remember. The first time you tried to walk, you fell down. The first time you tried to talk, you could hardly make a sound. The first time you dressed yourself, you looked like a clown. But you didn't give up. Did you hit the ball the first time you swung a bat? Did you make a cartwheel the first time you tried that? Did you jerk the car the first time you drove a stick shift? Did you do it perfectly the first time you make a magic trick? Heavy hitters, the ones who hit the most home runs, also strike out the most. When all is said and done, they are the ones. Babe Ruth struck out 1,330 times, but he also hit 740 home runs. R.H. Macy failed 7 times before his store in New York caught on. We all fail sometimes as part of success. Just don't stop trying. Keep trying. That's what will turn your setbacks into comebacks. And so adversity is part of life. You're going to have adversity. You started with adversity as a child, trying to walk, trying to talk. You had adversity throughout life. You will have adversity. It's part of life. But you grow through it. You don't have to just go through it. You can grow through it. And that's what I want to do. That's why this Jolly Good News Report is specifically slated to help you grow through it. And I've made a commitment and a decision that I'm going to give you information that I know works right out of these books. A setback set up for a comeback, right out of it. And it's going to be a series. You want to tell Lottie Dottie and everybody to tune in, because this is something that over the years people have asked me to do, and I did not do it because I had so much on my plate. But now this is one of the things that I'm going to be doing out of this pandemic, is to help people not just go through it, but grow through it and come out better. Don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. See, we're in the midst of a time of uncommon challenges, uncommon times. But uncommon times and uncommon challenges create uncommon opportunities. And it's going to be a time when you have to make a decision where you're going to put your mettle, yourself, your good. Are you going to put it in worrying? It's like an ostrich and sticking your head in the ground? Or are you going to be like an eagle, attacking the storm, pushing through it? That's why I got these eagles all over my office. Got another one over there. Eagles. Another one over there, because I'm trying to remind myself every day, fight hard, fly hard, go and fly like an eagle. Fly like an eagle. You may grow weary. You may have time when you stumble, but mount up on wings like eagles, that you will not grow weary, that you will not faint. Grow and go to the next level. Anyone who is moving ahead in life always has to understand they'll have some setbacks. That's part of the process. The only ones who don't have are the people who are dead or have given up or doing nothing with their lives. If you're going to do something with your life, there will be setbacks, there'll be obstacles, there'll be challenges. As long as you're alive and you get up and try to do something with your life, you'll have setbacks. Ultimately, the difference between the winners and the losers, and the key to long-term success, is not just talent and ability, but chances or that you are just going to make it. No. Or some lucky break. No. But it's the way you handle setbacks and adversity. There are other things that might play a part, but the key to success will be how you handle setbacks, because sooner or later, you're going to have one. You live long enough, you're going to have one. And let me tell you something I know about what we're in right now, this pandemic. This is not the last time you'll see a crisis. The folks in Texas, they realized that this power grid did not work. If they don't do some improvement, if they don't fix it, thinking, well, we are usually warm every winter, that would be a mistake, because it's going to get cold again some winter. I don't know which one, next year, the year after, but there will be another one of these experiences. There'll be another crisis. So what are you learning in these crisis times that can help you in the next one? Let me tell you something I've learned over the years. I've learned that every decade, you're going to see a crisis. I remember when the 60s, I was a little boy, and JFK was killed, John F. Kennedy, then Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, then Bobby Kennedy, all these murders. And then there were riots and social upheaval. There were the protests, flower power, and folks I remember Kent State University, they opened up on protesters with live bullets. It was terrible. That was the 60s. It was crazy. And then in the 70s, had a recession, a bad recession, where people had to line up. I remember lining up my mama for gas. And you lined up according to your tags on even or odd days, where you can even get gas. And people would line up down the street for just to fill up the tank. It was a recession. It was a tough time. And then I remember in the 80s and the 90s, every decade, there's something. But then the big ones come on. And then in 9/11, it was tough for the speaking industry. By that time, I was an adult and I was speaking. And the speaking industry shut down because people didn't want to go to meetings after 9/11. And then 2008, there was an economic bubble burst. And now we're in a pandemic. Every decade or so, you're going to have a major crisis. And then along the way, you'll have some minor crises. So this is not the last crisis. You live long enough, you're going to have some crises. That's why you got to see adversity as part of the process that will grow you. Losers see setbacks as the end of the road, while winners see setbacks as a bend in the road. This ultimately makes the difference between those who win and those who lose. Theodore Roosevelt said, far better to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. The joy of living is he or she who has a heart to demand it. Wow. IQ, AQ, EQ. What is it going to be? I'm encouraging you to work on them. Your IQ, now, you know, the IQ is your intelligence quotient. Your EQ is your emotional quotient. But your AQ, many people don't talk about AQ, that's your adversity quotient. For many years, scientists said, and educators and administrators said that your secret to success was going to be your IQ. But we've learned that's not true. We've got people who are high IQ people who did not have the fortitude to handle the setbacks, and they're living under a bridge somewhere. They're homeless. They gave up on life. Or let's look back at the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. They said he had an abnormally high IQ. He was a genius level, but he had no social skills, could not handle the pressures of life. So he started planting bombs and became known as the Unabomber. No, but Dr. Daniel Golden wrote in the book Emotional Intelligence. He said that emotional intelligence is not enough. I mean, IQ is not enough to guarantee success. You must have high EQ, which is emotional intelligence, how you work with other people, how you handle the teamwork in your workplace. But I say adversity, the AQ is what makes a difference. You got to have the AQ to go with the EQ. What is AQ? Your adversity quotient. What does that mean? Well, AQ, you got what I call the quitters, the climbers, the campers, and all of them play a part in your life. Now, what does it mean? Well, first I start with the quitters. The quitters look at the adversities of life, the tough times in life. They see a mountain in front of them, and they don't even go to the mountain. They don't even attempt to climb the mountain. They don't even attempt to scale the mountain. They just give up. Too big, too tough, too hard. I don't want to work that hard. They're the quitters in life. They quit before they even give it a shot. They don't even give it a chance. They quit before they even get a good shot at it. So they stay at the lower realms of the mountain, down in the valleys of life. But then you got the climbers. I mean, the campers. The campers is next. Now the campers are next. Now the campers, they will go to the mountain. They'll start up the mountain, and they'll get to a place called base camp, maybe a third of the way up the mountain. And the campers, what they do is they set up camp, but they tend to get comfortable with the campsite. They get a car, they get a home, they get a little job, they get something, and they stay there for 40 years or the rest of their lives. They stay right there at that campsite, their comfort place. But then they're the climbers, the high achievers, who come to that base camp as well. They refresh, they renew, they get resources to keep them going, but then they get back on their grind. They get back at work. They keep going because they have made up their mind that they're going to the top, to the summit, and they keep struggling. Now, in the midst of their climb, after they've left base camp, they have avalanches. They have snowstorms. They have frostbite. They have all of these situations that could stop them, but they have made up their mind. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more powerful than a made up mind. You got to make up your mind. And they get through the avalanches, the snowstorms, the freezing temperatures, the frostbite, and they get to the top of the mountain. And they set up their flag in there. You know, those are the Oprah Winfreys of the world. Elon Musk's, the Jeff Bezos, the achievers, the high achievers, even a LeBron James. He didn't get to be just because he's gifted. He had to work on that and have a mindset. Tiger Woods, so one of the reasons why he had won so many golf championships, because his father worked on his mind while he was working on his swing. I'm encouraging you to work on your mind, work on your mind, work on your mind. Your mindset will determine your success. And then expand your thinking. One of the things I've been telling audiences is doing these Zoom events and these virtual speeches, that we must expand or we become expendable. You must expand or you become expendable. Expand your gifts, your skill sets, your abilities. This is a time to work on new skill sets, new abilities, new opportunities. Learn something new, work on something new. I'm working on Spanish. I'm working on cooking. I learned to cook while I was here in this pandemic. I cooked a beautiful meal, salmon, baked salmon, blackened for my wife last night. Yes, I did. Now, but this is a guy who didn't cook before. I didn't know I could burn water. That's about it. But I decided during this pandemic, I was going to become better. I'm working on new skill sets. I'm working on new books. I'm working on new ideas. I'm working on new companies, Jolley Media. We're doing this Saturday morning show. We do the Monday night marriage show, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast. We got the daily 1-minute videos. We are working on a lot of things and new television programs, new music. We're going to be coming out with a lot of new resources to help you grow and go to the next level. So I want to say to you, adversity. You're going to have adversity. What do you do about it? I say it's time to not just go through it, but grow through it. Well, this book, A Setback, Set Up for a Comeback, I'm encouraging you to get this book. Go to winwithwillie.com, hit the box where the products are. Get this book, get the marriage book if you're married, and know that our marriage class, many of you have asked us how you can get a deeper relationship on helping strengthen your marriage. So we're starting the Jolley Marriage Enrichment Series. That is a 10, it might be even more after we've got started, a 10 or 12 week experience with 10 or 12 sessions that will be able to be accessed session by session. With the 10 sessions, if you do the 10 sessions, do it session by session, that'll be $300, $30 a session. But if you get the whole kit caboodle, and even if we might have to throw in some extra ones, you get it all for $250. So I would highly recommend you, if you got a marriage, you want to strengthen and grow your marriage, go to jollymarriage.com/series. jollymarriage.com/series. Sign up for the whole series. You'll be glad you did. Well, our time is just about up. You know, every week I try and keep it to a time, because we now are thankful for my friend Devin Stewart, who is repurposing these shows so that people in his network globally can also access this on his new television platforms. And he has some new platforms that are really impacting people. So we keep it to the time limit so that he can put it in and put it in the right rotation in the time slots. So our time is just about up for today, but I wanted to give you last couple thoughts as we go to the end of the program today, that we're in the midst of a pandemic, economic downturn, massive job loss, but we're also in a time of great opportunity. So I'm looking for you to get the opportunity. And in order to get the opportunity, you got to stay healthy. In order to stay healthy, what I'm encouraging you to do is take the vaccine. I've taken my first shot. I get my next shot the first week in March. Dee has taken her first shot, and we had no side effects, nothing. Little soreness in the arm if I ate, only when I touched it. So I decided not to touch it for those first couple of days. And we get a sense of relief knowing that we are being protected from this terrible pandemic plague. So take the vaccine. I've been on calls with different organizations trying to help them get people to get past their fear, to get to their faith so they can secure their future. I'm encouraging you to do the same. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. My time is up. I want to thank you for yours. God bless you. Stay healthy, stay focused, and don't let the adversity stop you. It's only there to build you. This is Dr. Willie Jolley of the Jolley Good News Report. Remember, for sure, your best is yet to come. God bless you. Bye-bye.